Hello folks, welcome to another Bitcoin market analysis by Inspocrypto. Well, we did a lot of progress. That's the first lie in this analysis. No, I'm not going to lie. So, no, just to be honest, nothing is happening. Absolutely nothing. We just need to check SPX, SPY, all this stuff here maintains. It's just ridiculous what the markets are doing at the moment. Really, absolutely ridiculous. And we are, in my opinion, far away from capitulation or panic sells because in a market with panic doesn't look like this one. Bitcoin, to be honest, the only thing that looks like panic is the price. But even the price action doesn't look like panic. I really don't know why people are talking about panic, to be honest. Last year, that was panic. Oh yes. Nuking after nuke and nuke and nuke. That was panic. That was people flipped to disbelief, and that was over. It's not happening. And that was why I just tweeted. I was reading in the last few days different comments, and I received some DMs asking, is that capitulation? Is the bottom in? And always it's the same approach. We compare a very similar situation in the past with the current one. And I think that's the big problem. A market, it's not just pattern and repeat patterns in the past. It's not always the same. And even then, we have different patterns. Because one situation can happen or can look similar, but it will have a different result just because we have different parameters. I don't know. I think it's obvious. I think it's really obvious. But maybe I'm wrong. I'm totally wrong. Sometimes I'm sitting in front of my Twitter and thinking, why are you almost the only one thinking in that way while everyone else is just repeating what we did in the past? Maybe I'm totally wrong. I'm the worstest guy in the market. Maybe it's the case. I really don't know. I said PIVO is not going to happen. People started to talk about PIVO in April. We have November now. They talked about PIVO in July. We are in November now. We are going to end this year with a PIVO. And yes, a lot of things happens, and also on crypto. And I have said, and that was why I decided just to make this tweet, because we need to understand, we have to make questions. If we don't do questions, if we are just without to make questions, repeating old patterns, we deserve to get punched. We deserve it, because that's what they are expecting. We are smart. I hope at least that we are smart. Otherwise, we deserve it. We are the perfect victims. And that's the thing. Capitulation, it's not a question of price. Capitulation can, and usually it is, a question of volume and bounce, for example. That would be at least a TA approach to detect, for example, such kind of capitulation. But the thing is, a capitulation mainly, the main initiator behind the capitulation are the big guys behind. Those who can manipulate the media, those who can manipulate the price, But these guys are distributing. Do you think that they are creating a panic scenario so they can sell their tokens for less money, for a lower price? Is that the smart strategy of this smart money? Do you think that? Well, then I'm totally wrong and you are totally right. And I really hope you will be successful. Otherwise, you deserve it. It's the only thing I can tell you. In my opinion, we are far away from a situation like panic sell and a situation like capitulation. Because something is changing in the market. And that's what I told, I don't know, I'm saying that since a while. This market is not ready. We are so early yet. We are the pioneers. We need to understand that. The market is changing. The market changed last year. The market changed in 2020. The market is changing since 2018, at least related to the involved actors in this market. And everything that happens after 2020 was well prepared years before. What we are seeing right now, it's not a coincidence. FTX, collateral effect. Voyager, collateral effect. Luna, dump. But everything else, collateral effect. It's part of a risk we need to take. But as you see, the market is not crashing. So the big question is why? Why is the market not crashing? Because someone is protecting with big buy orders? No, we triggered a lot. That's not the point. That's absolutely not the point. Even a crash wouldn't be a crash to zero. Bitcoin is not going to disappear. If it disappears just because politicians want that Bitcoin disappear. Otherwise, it's not going to disappear. Ethereum is not going to disappear. And a lot of different tokens will not disappear. But the mass of projects will disappear because their business case is not good enough to survive such a market. That's the only thing. That's a natural catalyst. As you are noticing, I'm a capitalist. Yes, I am. I don't have any problem to say that. I'm a capitalist. Otherwise, I wouldn't trade. For me, it's just to make money. That's my big my big motivation. I have, of course, a very social part. That's to provide and to share my knowledge with others. Because to be successful alone doesn't make that fun and doesn't make you really happy, I think. But to share your successful or your success with others, it's different. I'm not Sam, just to make it clear. I have a different philosophy. I don't want to make you rich. I just want to make you smarter. Or at least understand the market in a better way. Or not even a better, but a different view and way. That's my main goal. So, the key always, it doesn't matter if it's a market in your job or whatever, and sometimes it's really risky to do it, but the best thing you can do is always make questions and look for the answer. Always. Because otherwise, you are just going to make decisions based on nothing. That's my initial comment here. So let us start and try to figure out what could happen. I know that, if I'm right, Janet Yellen and Joe Biden will talk about the current financial situation. Rumors say they will talk about crypto regulation as well, so I would be extremely careful if that happens today, because the weekend could start very volatile. But I don't know yet. I I can't verify this information. However, we need to be extremely careful. I still think that we are not done. I still think that at the moment the bottom is not in. Yeah, people are buying. Certain people are buying. We will check that later on. But, you know, why? And who is buying? What is the purpose of buying it? That's a big question. At least, and I have tweeted about that, it looks like the big guys on CME are shorting big Bitcoin at the moment. You can think that's part of a capitulation. I don't care. But, you know, these guys usually have information advantage. I mean, the Big Short and many others, you know, how the whole game works, right? So I would be extremely careful. Let us go forward and check what's happening. At least we can see that the DXY is not really just trying to push SPY down. SPY is doing it for itself. And we will see how far they want to bring SPY, SPX down. In my opinion, it's just a matter of time, and Bitcoin will follow. However, let us go forward and check. First, weights ratio 30 days moving average, lifting up even more. Well, the weights ratio don't care about retailers making a bank run, but it cares about big volume inflows. Sorry. That was a stupid start with the weights ratio 30 days moving average. So let us start again. I was in my mind in a different topic already. The weights ratio 30 days moving average is lifting up, indicating that whales still send big money to the centralized exchanges. It doesn't care about any outflows. It doesn't care about bank runs, about centralized exchanges shifting bitcoins now from A to B to I don't know for what. It seems also rumors that they are shifting bitcoins from one exchange to the others to make fake proof of reserves. So, for example, it's just an example. I don't have any proof, just to make it clear. Binance said 10,000 bitcoins, for example, to Kraken, so that Kraken can show up, look, we have 10,000 bitcoins reserves here. And then they send them back afterwards. Or they make loans, for example. It's just a rumor. I really don't know. But the fact is, we see flow activity between exchanges and even internal operations, for example, on Binance. So such kind can make the whole weights ratio 30 days moving average be very inaccurate, of course. The only thing is, and only then, if the crypto quant, and it seems they are doing a good job at the moment, are detecting these internal operations and declare them as internal operations. So at the moment it looks very good. If we check that here, we can see that the weights ratio is lifting up. We know what happened last time when it did. And also something we should know, that was looking distribution, and right now it looks once again distribution. When the demand cuts, the price dumps. That's what's happening. Well, we'll see if it happens again. If we go a little bit, we zoom in, we can see we still have this very strange behavior with the weights ratio 1 hour time frame, indicating they really are doing everything to let the price go up. But every time when we go at 17K, boom, the sell pressure starts once again, for example, as we have seen here. So they are waiting to let the price go a little bit more up to dump into it. And the question is, who is buying? I really don't know. So the weights ratio 30 hours moving average dumped a lot, and now it's lifting up above of 70, indicating 70%. It's big, but not huge. If we check here, stablecoin reserves maintaining, declining a little bit, but centralized exchanges, their stablecoin reserves are declining even more, indicating someone is taking stablecoins out of centralized exchanges. Usually that's absolutely not bullish at all, because we need stablecoins to buy. So usually we should see a bigger inflow of stablecoins. Let us go forward. So we see here a lot of green, indicating we are getting a lot of stablecoins, but they correlates with the outflow. So we have, as you see here, it's almost neutral, because we had a big green, then a big red afterwards. A big green, then red, 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 more red. Little bit green, more red. Green, red. So it's neutral. In sequences, we get a little bit more stablecoins, then the price starts to go up, then they distribute, the price goes down, and they take out their stablecoins. That's the game we are playing since we reached that level here, November 8th. At the moment, we had some Bitcoin inflows here, as you can see, and the biggest one at the moment today was 1,650 Bitcoins. That was just, I guess, few minutes ago. So we received in the last 2 hours almost 2,300, 2,400 Bitcoins. So they are rising, but slowly. So today it doesn't look like we should expect something huge. Let us go forward. So if we check that here, for example, we can see that at least the funding rate, it maintains high. It maintains, at least we can see showing that they are still demanding more longs. Open interest lifting up. Leverage ratio, well, what should I say? It declined a lot and now up, so it looks like they liquidated some longs and some shorts and so on and so forth. That's something we will see in the next illustration. At the moment, related to stablecoins, nothing happening here, really absolutely nothing. The only thing was here where we know that it seems Binance internal operations. Only one operation was an internal operation. We will see entities with a bigger fund flow, that at least I can see it on CryptoQuant, on any exchange. So it seems they went directly to OTC. That would at least make sense. So if we check here, we see 130,000 Bitcoins arrived, and 51,000 Bitcoins were removed just an hour later. So it seems we still have 80,000 Bitcoins related to derivative exchanges, and they are still there. I can't prove that, to be honest. I really can't. I know that the market maker had a fund flow of something like 45,000 Bitcoins. But unfortunately, I don't have access to these, particular transactions. So I can't track if that went to derivative exchanges or to OTC. I can't see that. But even the number of 45,000 doesn't match here, because 130,000 what we received, 51 that went out, so means we have a gap of 80,000, So where are these 80,000? I don't know. Maybe it was OTC sent those 80,000 and they want to use it for whatever they want to use it. I really don't know, but that's what I can tell you at the moment related to futures. So it's a little bit foggy, everything. Too much fund flow activity, too much. If that's like, if you want to, if you want to hide operations, what they are doing is the best. It's really the best, because it's really hard, even with on-chain analysis right now, to try to figure out what's happening behind the curtains. That's really tough at the moment. So if we check here, that's the daily, we can see open interest is lifting up, but really slowly. Funding rate, wow, went up and hard afterwards, and leverage ratio is rising. Nothing happening. I mean, almost no liquidations happen in the last few days. And that's, for example, here right now Binance, and Binance is indicating that the open interest on Binance is recovering. The funding rate maintains up, and the leverage ratio, I don't know what happened here. If these guys thought, the price went up, so used high leverage or closed, I don't know how that happens, but as you see, the leverage ratio dumped very hard, and it maintains now below open interest. There, something, I don't know if I have seen that in the past. So if we go to not BitMEX, blockchain whispers, we see we still have a long short ratio of 65 to 35, exactly the same related to Ethereum. On Bitfinex, unchanged, a little bit more longs, but that's it. If we take a look now to the Kingfisher, we can use the spin once again. Let us check. Oh, okay. Then let us try a last time. What happens then? And red. Okay. So let us see what's happening here. I would say unchanged. So we have bigger liquidation clusters. I mean, the volume didn't recover. We had 150 million in liquidations, now just 50 millions. But if we check that, indicating that longs would be more in risk to get liquidated if the price will attract them. Because if we want to liquidate big, well, the biggest one would be at 23,500. Otherwise, we have here 15,200 or 14,400. So usually, I don't think that will attract a lot, but this one should attract. I mean, if that's the count of liquidations, nobody knows how much volume is behind and money. So maybe here is much more money involved than here. I really don't know that. That's something I still need to clear with Kingfisher, or you, Ben. We need to talk. But that's how it looks at the moment. So if they want to make a quick liquidation, 18K would be a nice area. Otherwise, we need to go and retest lower areas and even go a little bit more lower to 15K. Something, in my opinion, is still on the table. So that's it. Let us go forward. So, related to options, what's happening here? Well, we have a big concentration in calls here, and even on puts, we have the whole concentration here. What is here? Well, we have a support area at 16,750, at 16,500, and at 16,250. We had 17K just before, indicating that usually they will try to prevent to let the price go below 16,750. I need to check at what price we are right now. Oh. We are at 16,725. So indicating they will try to keep the price above. If it goes down, we have the next resistance area at 16.5, then 16,750 would support area, and so on and so forth. Also for puts, for example, if we check, we have here 0.11 versus 0.041, so almost controlled by calls at the moment, and we need to check. Also GAGs looks more space to the upside than to the downside, but it's just 1 week time frame. So if we check that here, notional, we have bear put spreads, bull call spread, bull put spread, custom strategy. I would say let us check those here. We have 2 bullish strategies, 1 bearish, and custom strategy we need to see. So let us go and check the bear put spread first. Bear put spread. Oh, okay, but it's it's the same we had yesterday. So we have here that they are expecting a price below 16K until the end of the year. We have here until tomorrow they are expecting here, for example, a price below 15,750, but that's peanuts, so doesn't count. And until end of November, a price below 12,000, also here just peanuts. The only trade that makes sense and that could be an indication of what could happen in the next month is this one here, at least based on premium volume, indicating that they are expecting a price below 16K. So let us go to the bull call spread. The bull call spread, for example, is indicating here, I think we had this yesterday, it's almost yesterday. So today nothing big happened. Oh, that's crazy. So you remember we had here also with certain expectations to see a price above of 30K until end of June 2023. That was a big one. We have here also expectation above of 29K, and that's mainly it. Or here until March of 2023 above of 22K. So nothing really big at the moment, absolutely not. Let us go to the bull put spread. It's the same, so they are bullish. They are indicating they think the price is going to go up. But at the moment, the only thing we have seen short term is the bear put spread. Everything else is for next year somewhere. So if we check here, for example, we have they're indicating to see a price above of 16K until end of the year. Yeah. Even here, for example, that's not bullish at all, but it's bullish because they expect the price has to be at or above of 16K. So also here, for example, and we are talking, that's really big. I mean, the premium is really big. Both puts 15K for 180 and sold, for example, the put 16K for 250, and they did that twice. So usually that's really a big one. However, none of them are really short term. I mean, of course, end of the year, that's always the same, you know. I mean, it's the big expiry, so we need to see. We can check another website later on related to futures and how the expiry looks like there for end of the year. So let us go and check the custom strategy. We have here, this one looks like it's relatively big, indicating until end of the year, expecting a price between 10 and 19K. Okay, and the biggest trade here is also indicating between January 2023 and March 2023 to see a price between 17K and 22K. That's it. So as you see, nothing big in the short term. Short term in that case means end of December. and we are still 6 weeks ago, 6 weeks away from end of the year. So nothing short term, and that's something that's really crazy, to be honest, because usually we had in the past a lot of of trades for short term as well. But we are done here. Let us go forward. So if we take a look now, what's the situation in the market with the market buys and sells. Just to make it clear, we have, if you want to buy or sell in market conditions, so it's the next close price, it will appear related to CBD. I didn't check that since yesterday. I mean, that's, I thought, because it's a cumulative volume delta, and usually also order books orders that got triggered, because automatically it's part of a volume, it should appear here. I didn't verify that theory. Just a follower told me that. I'm not saying he is not right or not wrong, just I want to check that. However, we usually have order books, so you can make orders to the current price and get triggered. So that would be a buy or sell operation, and you can use to buy or sell in market conditions. So the exchange is going to look the next price to trigger your order. So in case that my follower is right, it means that the CBD is just indicating you their buys and sells in market conditions, not those who were triggered by order books, or that were part of our order book. So, however, what we see here, and usually that means that someone is selling. I mean, that's selling, that's distribution, and that's Binance. And we see that's, for example, the aggregated spot. So all exchanges together are doing exactly the same like Binance, of course, because Binance has a lot of liquidity and volume, and so it's driving the aggregated spot CBD. If we check, for example, the futures with Bitcoin collaterals, it's, right now it looks like they are shorting more, but that's what it's indicating. So completely different to what's happening to the spot. And also here, I mean, that's Bitcoin collateral futures, stablecoin collateral futures just on the bottom, and both are doing similar operations, it seems. So if we check Bitfinex, well, I mean, Bitfinex not doing anything, still not doing anything. It correlates very well with the aggregated spot, but looks different. So it looks like, I don't know why Bitfinex is doing that, but they use sequences to dump. It doesn't look very organic. I can't tell you why. I really can't. But that's a pattern on Bitfinex. That's Kraken. If we take a look to Kraken, well, it looks different. They bought, they sold, they bought, they sold, they bought, they are selling. That's what they are doing. If we take a look, for example, here, Bitget also looks very, very similar to the Bitfinex chart. Also here that looks more like algo trading, to be honest, or something. I really don't know why that's happening, but it is what it is. Also here, not indicating any big purchases. Of course, Coinbase, as usual, looking different. So after they sold a lot, they bought a lot, and now maintaining and even selling. Not big, but started to sell. And last but not least, we have Bitstamp, and on Bitstamp, it seems that people are extremely bullish because they are buying. So completely different. So it looks like Bybit at the moment, the most bullish exchange at the moment related to CBDs. If we go and check our entities, retailers, they stopped, so they are not increasing imbalances. Also, this guy's here stopped. This guy's here declined. This guy's here declining. This guy's here, the market maker, declining. And yeah, well, entities or wallets with 10 to 100,000 bitcoins, you know, we only have almost 100 wallets related to this entity, and they are linked to exchanges. 80 to 90% of all these wallets are related to exchanges, and I guess some OTCs as well. And they are the only ones right now lifting up imbalances. I wouldn't say that's bullish, but. And what I noticed that was this morning, 13 hours before, the market maker fund flow 45,750 bitcoins. But I didn't see them on Binance or at any other exchange. So potentially they went directly to OTC. That's the only story I have in mind, because otherwise it should appear somewhere, or it's you know, maybe the data is wrong, I don't know, but I would be the first time. I never have seen such a big, I mean, the last time we had such a big, let us check. No, we didn't see such a big. Let us go and check the daily one. Why it doesn't appear? Because it was today. So we had here, for example, 53. Okay, 53,000. We had, if you check, for example, we had here 90,000 bitcoins fund flow by market maker entities, 67,000. Just before here, 30,000, and so on and so forth. Looks really similar what they did here if you check. And afterwards the price was very volatile, as you can see. And that was this part here. And here are we right now. So it looks very similar, to be honest. However, we need to see. So the last time we received such a big amount was here. And as you see, that was this part here, or even here. And you can see what happened. They let the price go up, distribution. They let the price go up, distribution. They let the price go up, distribution. And so on, and so forth. And then, you know, when the demand starts to collapse, it's where the price starts to react. So we will see how much demand we will get here, and if it's stable and bulls will find their balls again, and so they can push up so that these guys can distribute the way up, or the demand will, you know, shrink once again and we will dump even more. So let me check here. I don't know what happened. Also, you know, stable coins, it seems that Binance refilled their or someone, it's not only Binance, it's derivative exchanges, they refilled their stablecoin reserves. Well, market activity is bleeding, miners not doing anything. Also something that's really worrying me at the moment is what's happening to network activity. Because we remember that was end of last year's bear market. That was completely everything OTC here. You know, you can see here centralized exchanges, low activity, but higher network activity, indicating that OTC was very active, while we went up, did new all-time high, and afterwards we declined. The last big activity related to the to OTC was in July. So after the price nuked big, and since then it's declining. We had here a little revival after we went up and we dumped once again, but since then it's just declining, and that's something really interesting. Maybe, I don't know if that has something to do with Genesis at the moment, that even institutionals are really careful at the moment. Wouldn't be absolutely not a bullish sign, to be honest, but we need to see. It's just too early to make such comments, and we need to see. So let us go forward. So what we see here is that even on Coinbase, they are reducing liquidity to the downside. So 14.5 less liquidity, remove one wall at 13.7. They placed a new wall at 12 and reinforcing walls at 11, even lower at 8, for example. So it looks like they are removing liquidity from 15, from the current price down to 13.5 at the moment. It looks like at the moment. To the upside, nothing. Really just nothing. So the question is, why are these guys removing liquidity? Because they know only up from here, or because they want to let them trigger their buy orders? Well, we'll see. Deribit, perp, nothing. Longs shorts waiting here, but no longs waiting. Only here at 12, 13, and so on, but shorts at 18 and 19. Bitstamp didn't reduce the liquidity, only here at 15.5, so to let the price go a little bit more down, and reinforcing 13.4, for example. Even here at 12.4. Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know why. Binance Spot. Well, Binance Spot looks completely different. We have here, for example, a lot of sell orders between 21.5 and 20,400, then at 20k a lot until the current price. High sell volume between, I would say between 17.8 and 18.6. At the moment they are limiting the way up at 17k once again. So last time they triggered the 70k sell order and refilled the sell order again with new bitcoins. But at the same time, and that's why I think they buy here, they sell here. It's just maintain, but at the same time make profit. That's how it looks like, because you see here this order, also here refilled. They prevent to let the price go down at the moment, so they are buying here and they have sell orders here to sell again. However, at 15.8 they removed a lot of liquidity. At 15 removed liquidity. At 13.6 removed liquidity. So they are removing liquidity, bringing liquidity to the downside a little bit more. So reinforced, for example, here 12, reinforced here 10, reinforced, even placed a new one at 9, and so on and so forth. They are removing, so I don't know what's happening here, why they are removing liquidity to the downside, why we are so close to these price ranges. I really don't know. Bitfinex at the moment still waiting between 15.5 and 15k. Also here you see how much sell orders these guys still have there. And here a bunch full. Much more than, as you see, nothing here. So they are ready to sell, but not really to buy. Only until 15k. OKEX spot, nothing. Kraken, wow, removed liquidity at 15k. Still have this bunch here, but limiting the way up big at 17.5, removed the wall at 17.4 and even at 17.2. So looks like someone is waiting to sell at 17.5 and even at 18, but 17.5 mostly. Bybit, nothing. BitMEX, nothing. Binance Futures, wow. Yeah, they are still waiting here at 19k to go short. Otherwise, it looks very, wow, a lot of shorts also waiting here, to be honest. Much more than longs, it seems. But also here, long short, so they longed very well. I mean, the price went up, then they started to short a little bit, longed once again, and now shorting. Okay. Bitfinex derivatives, indicating even here short. Kraken futures, waiting with 1.7 million US dollars at 16.3, but that's it, nothing big. And OKEX futures, yeah, that's algo stuff. If we go to OKEX swap, we can see that they are still selling. Yeah. Okay, that's it. So TA didn't work today or in the last 2 days because we had to break out here. Usually I was expecting then such kind of, you know, breakout, retest and up, and now it's going down again. So the question is, wasn't that a retest? So are we going down to 16,400 and then go up, or are we directly go down to 16,000, maintain here, go even more down? That's the big question now. But to be honest, and I'm so sad because I like to make my personal conclusion and to give you maybe some ideas, but nothing has changed since yesterday. Absolutely nothing. What we see at the moment, if we are really, you know, is that here. So we have here something, and that's it. That's absolutely it. But usually when you see that, you know, it goes up, and whoop, and down. That usually happens. That's just TA, my very basic TA, because I'm not a big TA guy. But usually we should have a retest, because we had a retest, it fails. We had a retest, it fails. And now that should be the next move. So that's something we need to see. You know, if that's going to play out, we know we should be extremely careful from here because we are really close. So if we check that, we are going to retest now the trend line, the lower trend line, and we need to see if we will have a breakout. So they tried once and failed, like here, for example. That's a big question. Or if that's it, you know, that's the big question here. What will happen? Or nothing, or just nothing, and keep playing the game of sideway run, and then we will have such kind, you know. So without any sense of TA, maybe we need to zoom out then. But in my opinion, I would be extremely careful. But yeah, I mean, we are trading at 16.6. So when people think, yeah, we will go up, I can imagine. I mean, nobody can say these guys don't know what they are doing, because at 16.6, it's crazy not to go long, for example. But in my opinion, also related to the metrics, even we have some problems, you know, with this foggy stuff, with internal flows on exchanges, the bank run, but also the entity analysis showing, in my opinion, we are not done. The problem here, not done, doesn't automatically mean we will go to 8,000 or to 10. In my opinion, we are still in a distribution mode. We are not in an accumulation one, maybe quick accumulation. That's why it doesn't appear in different entities, big entities. So if they are buying with orders and not part of the CBD, that would be at least one explanation why we could go up afterwards from here, you know, retest that area, go up to distribute here and go back to the liquidity part here. The question is going someone to buy here? That's the big question. That's always the big question, because the market always will look to make money, and quick money. And after all the stuff we have seen, I mean, yeah, I guess some retailers will jump in, but you know, with all the situation we have, people has, due to the inflation, less money in their wallets now, front of us, Christmas, reading that people are deep in debt using credit cards with a rising interest rate. I mean, I don't need to be David Copperfield to say the how to say, retailers will think twice, if not even more times, before they spend money in crypto. And I would be extremely careful. I would be I'm still, I mean, I'm still bearish. I'm still bearish with all the things that are happening. I'm still bearish. I think we are not done. Really. I don't think we are done. My expectations would be, even if we could go up to 18K, and right now 18K, let me check. So that's I can stop that, because that doesn't make any sense anymore. Only this one maybe. So what can I imagine here is really, I mean, we have 18K, that's the yellow line here, is, you know, maybe to go down, retest, fail, and then go up. The question is when will happen that? I don't know. It seems the market is waiting for an event. Maybe the Joe Biden, Janet Yellen meeting today could be a trigger, or in 2 weeks FOMC meeting could be also a trigger. I really don't know. But at the moment, everything works in slow motion. Nothing is happening. I mean, just let us take a look to look that here. I mean, look that here. Pushed up, pushed down, pushed up, pushed down. That's it. Still too high. Almost at 395. Just too high. And that's something, for me at least, it doesn't make any sense. Absolutely not. I mean, look that. That looks like, okay, bear market was here, done, and from here only up. And usually that's not how it happens. With all the risk we are seeing at the moment, I don't think that's it. I would say that SPY will start to dump very hard, and my expectations would be, doesn't mean we are going to crash, but we will go even lower than before. And maybe then we will go up afterwards. We need to see. But at the moment, I would be extremely careful, and that's why I said I'm leaving the market. I'm leaving to trade daily with perp. It's just too risky for me. I guess they will try to liquidate even more people. So, as said many times in the past, be a hunter, not the victim. So be patient, be careful, manage your risk, and sometimes just a sideline and wait for a nice opportunity. In my opinion, that's not a nice opportunity. In my opinion, it looks like, with all the stuff we have seen, with all the problems, with where regulators right now, waking up, the UK watchdogs even demanding to ban crypto. And I know that the Bank of England is extremely bearish on crypto. At least it was related to Bitcoin, not that much related to Ethereum. Now they are talking about crypto in general. So we will see. We will see what's going to happen next. However, I hope it was insightful, useful, just to create a trade strategy. Be extremely careful, really. I'm not kidding here. So have a nice weekend. I will see if I'm going to provide the first time after a while Saturday's live stream, because I enjoy the live streams, but sometimes I really need to rest. I feel really tired, so we need to see. Big love. Your Inspo.